8,
You're watching The
7,
Experience, Comic Culture,
6,
and Sales.
5,
Streaming live daily to
4,
Facebook, YouTube,
3,
Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Geek Chat on The Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Des.
And today's show, you can win a 1 in 25 Chad Hardin Fall of the House of the Ever-Falling X-Men.
Rise of the Powers of X, number 4.
Yeah.
This is the issue you could win. Just jumped right on into it, huh?
I did.
Just gotta wait till people come in. We gotta.
We can do that. Let them know what they're watching today.
Yeah.
So you're watching the Geek Chat on The Experience. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. Be sure to go to Facebook and like the Geek Chat. Hey, Paul, welcome in. And head to comicshoppingexperience.com. Sign up for the mailing list and see what shows are on. There's always a show on The Experience.
Hello, Corey. Thanks for joining and becoming a new member. We really appreciate that.
Hey, Cabroni Chief.
But yeah, starting today, as Rich stated, we will be giving away a select variant cover. Most likely from something that we're reading this week. If not, it'll be something that has come out during the week. We were happy to get this week's 1 in 25 variant cover of Rise of the Powers of X, number 4, by the awesome Chad Hardin. And if you want to know how you can win this cover for free, all you have to do is use the hashtag lowercase EXP, uppercase TGC, lowercase variant, VARIANT. Please note that you can only enter on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Okay, and then the winner will be announced at the end of the show. That's it. Please post EXP TCG variant in the comments to win. Please note that you can only win once per month, but because this is the last day of the month, rolls over next week. So who knows? You might be lucky enough to win twice in a row.
Yeah.
So there's that. Thank you, Bri. Thank you so much for putting it in. Hi, Bar Lord. If you want to win, please follow Bryce Smith's example, hashtag EXP TCG variant. That is the Geek Chat. So again, we're going to be doing this for a while, to try to boost up our listenership, because we really want to get people to join in and enjoy our content that we put out for all of you. We love talking about comics. We love talking about comic book media, all things like that. We love to do that. So we will definitely be mentioning this again, either before or after, probably after our first commercial break, just to make sure, because I know people do come in late. But yeah, again, post EXP TCG variant to enter the giveaway. So yeah, and again, it is a 1 in 25 Chad Hardin variant cover for Rise of the Powers of X number 4. So having said all that, Rich, let's get to our first section. Section, as always, is TVs, movies, and news. And we've been talking about, which we both have really been enjoying, is X-Men 97. And the new episode came out, and it looks like someone that I sent you was right.
Yeah.
So
they did a really good switch and bait.
Yeah.
Nice little misdirection.
Yes, they did. So yeah, wow. What were your thoughts on episode 7 of X-Men 97?
So we get a little bit of some Trish Tilby let down with the Beast. We get a much harder look at the X-Men. They've always been so carefree, and it just seems the angst has come for 97.
Yeah, that's what the creator wanted to happen. He basically wanted the first half to be like a catch up, like what have the X-Men been up to? What's going on? How's everything going? And then he wanted a 9/11 / kind of like Pulse sort of event to really really set the stage to see like no one is safe in X-Men 97. Like no one is safe.
No, he also said that so it's Bo DeMeo that we're talking about.
Yep.
He has said that fans should watch One Man's Worth. It's from season 4. It's episodes 1 and 2. I don't know if it's 1 and 2, but it's a 2-part episode, One Man's Worth, to prepare for the 3-part finale, Tolerance is Extinction.
Yep.
For X-Men 97. So I plan on going back and watching those 2 episodes.
So do I.
Seeing what's going on and how they may relate to Tolerance is Extinction.
Yes.
1,
yes.
2, 3. So interesting that Scott learned Cable was his son.
Yeah, and I felt so bad for him though. I felt so bad for Scott, because he's like, oh my God. And he's like, Cable's like, let's save it, Pops. And I'm like, wow. Or Dad, let's save it, Dad. And I'm like, damn, can't even give him a minute to breathe.
No,
not even a minute to process it. Damn.
Well, to be honest, the writers of that episode did not give us any time during that episode to breathe, because how awesome was it? Captain America showed up, Rogue being Queen Bee that she is, completely this whole new side of Rogue that we have not seen at all in any of the X-Men cartoons. She is pissed.
Yeah,
like pissed.
I loved her and Nightcrawler acknowledging that they're adopted,
right?
That she's an adopted sister and they are family. I really loved that.
I got a little misty when she held and then Jean came up and then the whole team was there.
Yeah,
it was a very nice I don't want to say heartbreaking. It wasn't heartbreaking. It was an honest moment in a cartoon that made you like, all this stuff went down with Trask becoming, oh my God, an Omega Sentinel. They took that. So were you reading when Operation Zero Tolerance happened?
I was.
And they actually took the humans and made them into the Sentinels, or the Nimrod.
I need to go back. I need to go back and reread it. For the sheer fact that it's been a while.
Yeah.
And I love that it is all 90s, it like they are really sticking to their 90s roots,
right?
But cherry picking what they want, so.
And I wish we were, so we are going to be reviewing Crisis on Infinite Earths. And there's a lot that I found between the two that X-Men 97's doing better than DC's Crisis cartoon. And it is that taking the stories that we grew up with and rewriting it for a new generation. And I just feel like the X-Men 97 team's doing it a little bit better. Especially the fact that if you've been reading comics as long as we have, you will get something out of it. And I'm loving that. I love being able to watch the show and relive not only reading comic books, but the show as a whole.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then having you were right, you called it. Emma Frost.
They can't kill her. She's got too much potential.
Yeah, but I like how they set it up for her to join the X-Men now, because the Hellfire Club has been destroyed.
Right.
As it seems like the Hellfire Club has been destroyed, and they really have kind of wiped the board and cleared all of the existing kind of X-Men or mutant
lines.
No, I was going to say fraternities, but like, all the different mutant stuff. Hi, Kenneth. Welcome in. They kind of like all the mutants are on an even playing field now, because like now, like the X-Men is kind of like the only game going. So like, where's Emma going to go now? And so now we're going to have Emma's, I guess, redemption arc or something where we see her become an X-Men now. I think she will become an X-Men because she's been an X-Men for so long in the comics. It only makes sense. I think this was a really good way to do that. Then maybe we're going to get a different representation of Emma in in this cartoon versus in the comics.
I will
So,
say one thing that bugged me was her having red lipstick. She's in Time Informed. There should be no color. That was a little thing on my part. Just a little thing.
it was interesting. Yeah, I was like, okay, but then her like, I've always, never crumbled under pressure or
Yeah.
something. I was like, okay, yes, I see you. I see
You need to give us the little C, you need to be a little bit a word we can't say on this,
Yeah.
but you need to be that
Oh,
we
Kenneth.
need that from her.
So Kenneth, it looks like if it is cap sensitive, it needs to be lowercase exp and then uppercase tcg and then lowercase variant. I don't know if it needs to be, but I would just say it probably does.
We should
So,
ask the voice behind.
Yeah. So JD, if you're listening, let us know in the comments if it needs to be exactly how we said it with the capital letters. That'd be great. What else? I did like Roberto and his mom. I thought that was great.
How gay? Okay, not gay. How? What is the word? Queer coding. How?
Oh yeah,
that was
Hi, Lorena.
completely queer coded to be a talk that a gay or queer child has with its parents, and the mother's like, I already knew.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought, see, that almost brought tears to my eyes. So I was like, oh, she already knew. But then she turned into like, okay, but now we have to,
Now,
play
yeah.
the politics. I was like, okay, there's the mom. Okay, I see it now. Okay, that is some like, yeah,
I'm also wondering if his dad, I think his name was Emmanuel, if he is involved in the Hellfire Club like he was in the comics.
You never
as
know.
a human.
He might be.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking. Are they going to tie that in? Are we even going to see the dad? I was shocked we saw the mom.
I was glad we saw the mom and everything, and how nice she was about it. But I think with the mom, they are setting up seeds for future future flowers. Let's just say.
Yeah.
So I know once this is resolved, that might be something for the New Mutants to have to deal with. So we'll see.
So one thing I was a little disappointed in, not seeing these riots that they're talking about. I think that would have been something, even if it's just a changing of the TV just to show them. Because in the first couple, they did a really good when they did the newspaper.
Yeah.
And the newspaper let us viewers in on what's happening within that world.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked someone who had been watching TV, because they show TV a lot. And it would have been nice if we saw maybe the riots they were talking about, because I think that also holds some power in the story.
Oh, most definitely.
There are mutants rioting. And I loved when, was it Trish who said breaking windows is not like it? They're taking real world ideas and putting it in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Like he said he wanted to do.
Yeah. And they're saying, riots are the methods of the unheard.
Right.
And I don't know. I like the conversation between Beast and Trish. And I really hope that Beast gets to fight a little bit more, though he did fight a little bit towards the end there. So it was great seeing Thunderbolt Ross. I thought, okay, that's cool.
Yes.
We're showing more folks. And when Captain America said my team, and I was like, okay, he said team. He didn't say the Avengers. He said my team. So I think that was very specific. And you're welcome, Kenneth. I know they did that on purpose, and I hope that they are alluding to the fact that we will see some Avengers, just maybe in passing. It doesn't have, we don't have to see everybody, just maybe in passing.
Yeah. Yes, Black Spiders. We are also loving the X-Men 97.
Yes.
I love my Wednesday. So my Wednesday is everyone else's Wednesday is my Friday. So I get out of work a little early. I come home. We watch X-Men 97 and then The Bad Batch back to back. And The Bad Batch sadly will be ending. This is its last season. But it's nice to watch these two cartoons on Disney Plus, something that who would have thought we would be saying after all these years?
Yep. And I have to say, I loved the ending battle with
Trask?
Omega Trask.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that was great. Although I have to say,
What?
I was so disappointed in Jean Grey. She needs to step up her game. Like seriously. Seriously. And she needs to have redemption. Like I need her to show her badassness, aside from her with the Phoenix. Like we got Madeline doing it, we got Storm doing it, we got all these other people doing these fantastical, magical moments, and she tries, but it's like, but I'm like, why? Why are you not, kicking more ass? I was just annoyed. I was just really annoyed. So my hope is that she's able to show some strength, because she's supposed to be, one of the strongest, X-Men, but they always have portrayed her as being like this frail.
Hey, she's not
flower.
falling weak, and she's not doing the this time around. You know what else I noticed? Wolverine has been pulled back a lot.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
has not been featured much at
No.
all.
He hasn't. So.
And what did you think of Rogue just dropping Trask? And the team just being like, okay.
Well, no, Morph. I liked Morph. Morph was like, is this who we are now?
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is, again, they didn't give us enough time to sit with that, because he came back as an Omega Sentinel.
Right.
So Rogue was kind of given a pass. Rogue was able to show how badass she is, but then he came back as a Sentinel, so it's kind of like womp womp. So
yeah.
I liked how she used her powers on Gyrick and everything, and then we'll spoil it at the end if you haven't seen it.
Spoiler.
It's Bastion.
Yep.
Bastion is the head of what's going on, and I know we're definitely I know we're definitely going to get a flashback of how he was created, because he's obviously from the future, and we're definitely going to see how that happened, because
and we're getting some Nimrod coming.
Yep. So yeah, we're definitely getting Nimrod. We're definitely getting more Bastion, probably a weird master mold Bastion Nimrod mix mash thing happening, but I'm here for it. I think it was great. I think Mr. Sinister playing a second fiddle and getting his Mutant Massacre was kind of, it was interesting. At the same time, he is always that person that's in the background,
right?
So it makes more sense that he would basically be there to collect data and then slowly move back, because Bastion's going to take the fall. Mr. Sinister's going to get away scot clean, because, or scot free, because that's how he is,
right?
So yeah, he basically was like, I'll go along with you because I get to harvest mutant genes.
Yeah.
And then go on.
I loved how they actually got to say Mutant Massacre. They actually said it.
Yep. I was very surprised by that too.
And then let's just go to the real spoiler. You said something about Joseph. So we text back and forth, people. We've been friends a long time. And he texted me. He's like, I think we're getting Joseph.
So if you're not familiar, Joseph is a clone of Magneto that they I can't remember who put him in the comics, but I'm thinking we're getting a clone of Magneto who's going to be a sleeper agent. And that's what's gonna kick off this whole tolerance thing. And Magneto's gonna turn on them and they have to save him. Is what I think. Or even we might get an Omega Sentinel Gambit. And they have to talk him down, and bring him back and try to make him whole again. So.
I love that no matter who, different shows, different people on YouTube are watching and, trying to figure out what's coming next. And I feel like the writing team of X-Men 97's like, yeah, you just keep thinking this and we're going to go this way.
Yeah. Have fun with it.
I love it.
Yeah. I would love to be in their shoes and looking and then throwing, and seeing what people are talking about. Yeah. So much fun. So please hit that like and subscribe, and follow and share with your friends. We would love for folks to to come in and join. If you have any questions or comments about what we're talking about, please put them in the chat. We love talking with all of you, and we know that you watch X-Men 97. We know that you read most of these comics that we're going to talk about. So yeah, we would definitely love to chop it up with y'all as well.
So in the next 9 minutes, we're going to talk about the Deadpool Wolverine trailer that dropped.
You all saw it. I know you did. What are our thoughts? Holler out in the chat what your thoughts were. And we'll start. Yeah, old man Logan. And he killed he destroyed his universe or his version. And they're all at the end of time where Loki was, and Cassandra Nova used her mind wipey powers to get him to kill everybody, and now it's a vendetta against her. That's what I think the whole movie is about. Oh, Barlord was underwhelmed, sadly. I'm glad most are liking it though. I liked it. I liked it. I think they are going to go way meta with it, because even in the trailer, they're all like, Feige said we can't do this, we can't do that. So I think it's going to be
cocaine reference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be super meta, because they know that this is going to be the last one. A lot of people are saying that portal they were jumping into was a Doctor Strange portal. So maybe that's at the end of the movie, and when Secret Wars hits is when we're going to start seeing all of the MCU X-Men come in, because there's going to be a shifting of the worlds. Maybe that's how Monica Rambeau from the end of Captain Marvel 2 or the Marvels is going to get back to the main MCU continuity, because
I don't think
Wars
happens, I don't think the best stuff was. I don't think so. I gotta say, I found it interesting that we got it was Lady Deathstrike, Azazel. There was an image in front of that giant head, the Ant-Man head.
Yeah.
And it showed all of the villains from the past movies in regular clothing. You really had to stop and look at it.
Yeah, some Punisher villains were in there too as well. Yes, Barload. I really hope that they didn't give us the best stuff. I don't think that they did. I think there's definitely going to be some cameos. People are saying that Famke Janssen's going to be back in it.
No, she says she's not.
Please.
I know.
Yeah, what's his name? Garfield from Spider-Man 2 said that he wasn't going to be there, and he was. Come on.
Yeah.
No, I think Halle Berry's going to be there. I think Famke Janssen. I think James Marsden. I think all of them are going to show back up. And it's going to be, I swear to God, what's going to happen? Mark my words. Mark my words.
Here we go, guys.
We are going to have an in-game level event at the end, when all of these X-Men are going to jump out of portals. We're gonna have all of them from the 3 original movies, and we're gonna have all of them from the Days of Future Past stuff. Seriously, we're gonna have all of them jumping out, and it's gonna be a big fight scene, and they're all gonna take over. They're all gonna fight Cassandra Nova. I'm telling you. Dual Phoenixes, yes. 2 Jean Greys. I think they're both gonna be there. Sansa's gonna be there. All of them.
Did you just say Santa?
Sansa. It was her character from Game of Thrones.
I was like, I thought you meant Santa. I'm like, Santa could be there. Okay.
No. So Sophie Turner, yes, Sophie Turner.
I loved the in-joke for Liefeld's Just Feet store.
Yeah, did you see what he posted on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, I don't want to see your feet, sir. I hope those weren't his feet.
So I just want to say this is going to be one of the. That's it. Yep.
There it is.
Feet.
No. You know what I hope? I hope he makes a joke about him not putting on his helmet to mess up his hair or something, because that was always the thing. One of the reasons why he didn't wear a helmet or anything like that was because people want to see that it's Hugh Jackman, and when you wear a helmet, it's like you're missing out on not seeing the actual star. So that's one of the things. Some stars don't want their faces, they want their faces to be seen in the movie. So that'd be funny if he made a joke about that, because Ryan Reynolds doesn't care. Like he wears the mask all the time, but it's him because of how he's talking. So
yeah. So I think I just want to let everyone know this will be my first Madonna reference for the night. In the trailer, it was like
said first or only?
First. I have another one later. So Madonna's Like a Prayer debuted 35 years ago in 1989, and it began its 6-week run at the top of the charts on the day that the Deadpool Wolverine trailer dropped, and according to Ryan Reynolds, it was not planned. But I when that just started up, I was like, oh my god, it's the anniversary of this song and the album, and I loved it.
Unsufferable acting snob. Well, you know that the face is the actor's instrument. You can't just cover it up. You know what? That's true. And actually, real quick before we cut to commercial break, and I strangle Rich for having another Madonna reference coming soon, but they actually did this in the past where they had a movie. It was a Humphrey Bogart movie in which they did it from the perspective of Humphrey Bogart. So imagine a first-person movie, and you as the character watching are taking the role of Humphrey Bogart. So you never see him in the movie. You hear him and you see him talking, but you're supposed to be, interacting with everyone in it. Everyone in the theaters hated it. And
really?
Because they wanted to see Humphrey Bogart act. Wow. They don't want to be him. They want to see him act. Very, very interesting. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun movie. I think it is. It's going to what?
Tell that to Peter Weller.
Yeah, it's true. Black Spider says this is Marvel's chance to make some mini cartoon movies like X-Men versus Avengers, etc. Yeah, I would love to see them do more with their animated stuff, because the only thing that seems to be really working for them animated wise before was What If, and while those were good, I wanted something that tells a more cohesive story, because I think that second season did not hit as good as the first season. So, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. But I do think that this is going to be this Deadpool movie is going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to have a lot of fan service. Yes, and I'd be down for a revival of the Spider-Man show too. I think that would be fantastic just to really make this 97 show just make a whole 97 continuity cartoon show. I mean, they're not going to do that. The next Spider-Man show is going to be him in his high school years. So you're literally just gonna get Spider-Man, teen Spider-Man doing his thing. So, which you've seen all before, but if they do it good and the animation is clean, I'm definitely gonna watch it, and we're definitely gonna talk about it here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So,
all right, it's that time again.
Yep, we're gonna be taking a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we start talking about some independents that you probably didn't think that we would be talking about, because I sure as hell wasn't. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
Some comic live streams seem like they're just throwing everything at the wall. Hey, you want this unknown comic? Yeah, here, how about this boring one? Found this one in a rain gutter, give me some money for it. I know this looks like a rotting sandwich, but I swear it's a comic. Pay me! But with Comic Collectibles, we know you don't just want comics, you want the right comics. You want rare, variant, and incentive covers, vintage books in pristine condition at prices you won't find anywhere else, and truly unique, hand-drawn cover sketches by some of the most amazing artists in the business. Join Rex and his rotating cast of co-hosts live from Dynamite Entertainment headquarters for a carefully curated roster of comics that you'll only find here at Comic Collectibles. Every Monday at 6 and Wednesday at 7 Eastern Time. Part of the experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Dez, and as you see on your screens right now, post EXP TCG variant into the chat if you haven't already, and you could win a 1 in 25 variant cover from Rise of the Powers of X, number 4 by the amazing Chad Harden. We are giving it away. We're going to be starting to give away stuff on every episode for a while. So again, all you have to do is type in that hashtag into the chat. Please note that you can only do it on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Winner will be announced at the end of the show. And remember, you can only win once a month. But because this is the last day of April, you might be able to win, next show because we'll be in. Hey, so that's what happens when you start a giveaway at the end of a month. So yay!
I just want to know, where does Lyle live that it's negative 27?
Right? I mean, it's got to be like Alaska, maybe. That's crazy. Ooh, stay warm, my friend, and don't set your comics on fire to stay warm. It's not worth it. unless there's those crappy comics they were showing in the commercials. Yeesh, US 1, that some of those comics I was like, damn. Although I had some of those because I was a crazy little kid and I collected anything comic book related when I was a kid. So then they were like a quarter. So what are you gonna do?
I didn't realize that we now have to change our name.
What?
So it's EXPTCG. So maybe.
Oh my god!
It's
next time we'll change it.
The Chat Geek.
Yeah. So next time we're gonna have to change it.
Wow, he works in Alaska. You were right. In the Arctic.
The Chat Geek.
That's cold.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in to watch our show, and I hope our dosed turns are helping to keep you warm, my friend.
All right, let's get to our first book.
So again, for this episode only, it's TCG variant, and I get it, so please, next time we'll make it TGC, but for now it's TCG. So please do that. Experience says would have put NFL Super Pro in there, but some people have a weird love for it. Yes, I didn't like it. I was never really a football fan, but there you go.
I like baseball.
Thank you, Lyle. We appreciate that. So the first book we're going to talk about is a book that Rich actually brought to my attention. I didn't think that we were going to review this, but then he's like, "Hey, let's review something different for a change," and I was like, "Sure."
What about Dick Tracy?
Yep,
that's an interesting name.
Did you ever read the old Dick Tracy?
I did not. And
I
the only reason I watched Dick Tracy movie is because who? Madonna was in it.
So this is your second Madonna
This
thing?
is my second Madonna.
I know most of you remember, well, maybe you don't. You might not remember Dick Tracy, the movie that came out in the 90s with Warren Beatty and Madonna. So she
did a whole soundtrack of new music just for it, including Vogue. Which
the movie, to tell you the God's honest truth, the movie wasn't that bad for it being based on a pulp superhero. I thought it was okay, but this one is not for the faint of heart. This is a much more gritty tale. Barlord says that was the first VHS I encountered with copy protection on it. Oh, I can understand that. And Lyle says, I love Golden Age Dick Tracy. You know what? Funny thing about that is so do I. For a while there, I read a lot of those old, like I love Little Nemo. I love the old Flash Gordon serials, and I actually read the old Dick Tracy's. I only read a couple of them because a lot of them are pretty wonky.
Yeah.
So the co-writers were Alex Segura and Michael Morici.
Morrissey. Yeah.
The artist was Geraldo Borges. The creative consultant was Chantel Amy Osman, and the colorist was Mark Englert, and the letterer was Jim Campbell. I really want to know what a creative consultant does. I think they're probably a person who knows a lot of history about maybe Dick Tracy because he has such a long past. But who knows? Lyle says my dad calls Dick Tracy old square jaw. Yep, he definitely was a quote unquote man's man. But if you don't know, Dick Tracy is a detective. He was an old pulp detective, and he, came out around the same time as the Spider. No, earlier than that. Sorry. He was a pulp hero, but he was a detective. Going around in his yellow trench coat and his yellow fedora, solving crimes, and he had it was his cast of villains that made it really kind of fun because they all had really weird names and really weird looks. There was like Flat Top, and there was Mumbles who mumbled everything he said, and all these various different characters that he would fight up against, and criminals and mobsters. So,
and he had the Apple Watch before Apple thought of it.
Yep. Yeah. Paul loves his Apple Watch because he feels like Dick Tracy. So it's pretty crazy. So what did you think about the story, Rich?
I actually enjoyed this. I really liked the art. The art had this dark, finished approach to it, if that makes sense. It wasn't superhero art. It wasn't generic superhero art like we get nowadays.
Yeah.
This was it kind of reminded me of Mike Perkins in that Batman book we reviewed maybe about a month ago, where it was set during this time, the 40s.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I thought the inking, the colorist, it all worked in this book for me. No one was pretty. Like, it was just the dead bodies, that whole couple of pages. Really impressed. And I liked the story. I like that Tess is there. We all know they hook up eventually.
Yeah.
But for now, they just meet. I like how she isn't a come save me kind of gal.
She's not a damsel in distress.
She is not. And I thought that was really good.
Hey, Make Two, welcome in.
Hey, Make Two. I liked it. I liked the story. I honestly think I will be getting the number 2. I liked how she's reading her dad's diary and she's like, what's a Mumbles? Like, it's questions you'd ask if you saw Mumbles, and she thinks it's a place, but Dick Tracy, of course, says no, it's a guy, and then they go get him, and Flat Top shows up. I liked the shadowing of him in the beginning. I don't know. I just thought it was a really strong number 1 from a company I'm not. Mad Cave, and they've been around for 10 years.
Yeah.
So good for Mad Cave for getting a licensed book.
I think Dick Tracy is in public domain, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think he might be. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If he is not, I think he might be. But
what did you think of it?
Very noir. I had a very noir feeling about the story and how it was going on. It was not played for kids or for kicks. It was a very serious book, which is something that I was not expecting. And it had that gritty realism that I was not expecting from a Dick Tracy story. Like, I literally thought it was going to be something kind of more campy, like the movie, and even the old serials were kind of campy, but they still were adult, more adult themed. They cursed in it. Some of the modern cursing, I guess, is fine, but they didn't curse like a lot.
Right.
But it definitely is not for kids. Like you get to see people getting gunned down in the first few pages, and so it really sets the story and it sets the tone like right from the beginning. So yeah, I do think that a story like this though would be read. So I think it's going to be most likely a mini series, and I think something like this would definitely be read like a complete story. So I might wait for the trade for this, but I was actually really impressed, with what was going down, with what was coming. Like it really seemed like they knew exactly what they wanted to tell with this character, regardless of his history. And I thought that was great.
I want to jump in what you said. I didn't even think of it. With such a cast of characters that could become really campy or over the top with their appearances, they did keep it quite grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that aspect to the story. And
yeah,
if you were a Dick Tracy fan or looking for a good new #1 to pick up, if you like the character, I would say pick this up. I would.
Yeah. The next one we read is definitely another comic that is not for kids. It's by Vault Comics, but it Slash presents Death Stalker, the return of the last great warrior king. Ooh, and the writer was Tim Seeley. Artist was Jim Terry. Colorist was Kurt Michael Russell, and the letterer was And World Design. And if you're not familiar with Vault Comics, they're the ones that do Barbaric with the Keanu Reeves. So a lot of sword and sorcery type of material so far.
But yet nowhere in this cast does it say anything about Slash. And I had to do some digging. This was originally a Kickstarter. Slash is involved in this, along with a horror director, something like that. And then Tim Seeley and Jim Terry.
Yeah.
I could not find on the internet what Slash did. I think it was just his money, maybe an idea and name. I think his name, because they ended up doing a one in, honey, what was it? 250? What was the Slash variant that you could order with Slash signature? It was like a 1 in 5. It was some astronomical amount that you'd have to order just to get one
Slash version,
Slash with his signature on it. Yeah. But otherwise, he really did nothing. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about when we were doing Ms. Marvel. We were reviewing Ms. Marvel and talking about stars' names on books. Keanu Reeves, and then I don't know what Slash's name. It's just Slash Presents.
Yeah.
Really weird. Really weird. Is your cat doing something?
Yeah. Hi, Meatwad #1. It's Meatwad, everybody. I hope Master Shake and Frylock are not chasing you around the house. So real quick, Wikipedia says that Dick Tracy goes into public domain in 2027.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Paul. What did you think about Death Stalker?
I went first on Dick Tracy. I want
You want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay. Have you ever read a book called Den by, I think it was Robert, oh my God, from Heavy Metal? Oh, thank you.
Yes. So this is based on the movie that came out in the 80s.
Yes, that experience is correct. It is based on the Roger Corman film series. And if you're familiar with anything with Roger Corman, you know that it is complete and utter just I don't want to say garbage. It's exploitation is what it is. That is what Roger Corman just Mooninites love it. That is what Roger Corman's stock and trade was TNA. That's what he did, and he made a bunch of movies like that, and it was just something that he did. And so Death Stalker was one of those creations, and the whole thing. So it was Den was this fiction character that came out in Metal Hurlant it's Metal Hurlant in French, but it's a heavy metal in America. And in the 70s, they did a whole bunch of great stuff. If you ever want to pick up a really fantastic classic 70s European art, heavy metal from the 70s is fantastic. Mwah. Perfect. Mobius is in it, whole bunch of really cool people, and they did the story called Den. And Den was, this guy who was fighting, in a futuristic world, but no one ever wore clothes, and it was barbarians and it was crazy. This is like that. It's like Conan, if Conan was a B movie. Like, he literally steals this naked woman who was betrothed to her brother because it was like genetic breeding to make the perfect couple, but he doesn't wear any clothes. So yes, he is naked, running around with this helmet on, trying to get back his sister from Deathstalker, who has corrupted her. And there's like a black plague going on, and then he goes to one of his ex's kingdoms, and it's one of the campiest, weirdest stories I've read in a very long time, set in a fantasy fiction world. Yeah, Lyle. It really feels like they were going for that sort of take with this. So it's very unhinged. It's not for kids at all. Lots of decapitations, lots of nudity, lots of cursing. And it's like, if you like a kind of balls to the wall, crazy kind of stuff, then you probably will like it.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah, it was weird. Like the artwork isn't nothing to write home about, but it started to grow on me. Yeah, well, it started to grow on me when reading it, because it really felt like it went with the book, because the book is kind of crazy. Like, the storytelling is really crazy. So I don't know if I'm going to read the next one. I think this would be better as a trade where you can sit down, read the whole thing, and then you're done with it. And you can put it down. Because for just following the adventures a monthly, that is something that I think I would get bored with it, because it's a little too over the top for me. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
It was an odd comic book to read. The seriousness and the jokes, and like him stabbing the rhino in the butt, and then the guy landing on a
flying forward and landing on the rhino's horns.
There's just it. And then the brother with the giant schlong, and
he did want to fight him because he was naked. He looked at the schlong and was like, ugh. He's like, I don't want to fight him.
I don't know. Part of me was like, the art also was it. Oh my God, this book made me remember old Cracked magazines.
Yeah,
because the art was that kind of not serious, but not too jokey. People were like weirdly distorted. The story was kind of uneven as well. I felt like this book was just uneven between why is Slash's name on there and the art being a mix of, like, when they drew Deathstalker, he looked like, oh my God, what is his name? He's a heavy metal singer. I want to say from Typo Negative.
Or Danzig.
Danzig, that's who it was.
Yeah,
he looks like Danzig.
I was getting some Danzig from it too.
I don't know. I don't know what I felt about this book. After I was reading it, I was just like, what the hell did I just freaking read?
Yeah.
I kind of want to read the next issue though. That's the weird thing.
Like, that's the thing. I really feel you, but I just want to get it done in like one sitting. That way I can get all the shock value and all the weirdness out, because following it from month to month, this might be a little bit too much. But yes, you're right, Lyle. No comic code, free reign massacres, and you definitely get it in this book.
But I was disappointed at the lack of blood. When he stabbed the initial guy through the body and you saw the sword coming out of the other end, it was clean.
Yeah.
And when they chop people's head, they chop a lot of people's heads off, guys. Holy Jesus, do they chop heads off? And the lack of blood was kind of weird. Like, there was blood in some spots.
It's a very bland color palette too. You noticed that too.
Yeah,
like, the color palette was very the colors were very monotone.
Peter Steele, that's his name from Typo Negative. Yeah. I don't know. If you want to read an odd, weird book that is about sorcery with some weird science fiction and robots thrown in, that threw me off.
Yeah, the
And then
robot was weird.
the guy's pus.
Pus
It
exploded.
was weird. It was weird. But I gotta say, I enjoyed Deathstalker miles over the next book we're going to be reviewing.
The next book is Flash number 8.
This was all on Dez.
The reason why I put it in is because of the new artist. I told you, if you've been watching for a while, we did the last when Flash 1 started. God, I can't believe we've been doing this for over 8 months. When Flash 1 started, it was with oh God, I remember his name now. Mike Deodato. Deodato. He was doing the art, and his artwork was way too
static.
Well, it was static and it was too dark for the Flash's bright and vibrant color palette and the way that his movements and everything. So yeah, this one is a new artist who came in and this was the second book he did. Number 7 was his first one, and I thought, okay, maybe it's a fill-in artist, but it seems like he's most likely going to be the new artist, I'm thinking. And I wanted to say, okay, did his art change my feelings about the book?
So let's get this out of the way. Written by Simon Spurrier, who I absolutely loved his Marvel work with the X books. Not gonna lie, it was weird, but it was fun. Art by Ramon Perez and Vasco Georgiev. Colors by Sophie Dodgson and Matt Herms. And it was lettered by Hassan Atzmain El-Hualu. We'll try that. And the cover right there was by Ramon Perez. I thought it was interesting, that cover. So let's just start at the cover. The Flash is the A. And I'm like, okay, that works for me for now. You know, that's a cute new little kind.
Yeah,
and then the cover is, okay, we get the Flash lightning bolt with a Flash. Don't know if it's Wally, don't know if it's Barry, don't know if it's one of the many speedsters running around this book.
Well, it's either Barry or Wally,
right?
You know, because of the outfit.
So then you open it up, and I was like, God, you're gonna make me read this.
Well, number 1, it's number 8 in a long story,
right?
And the story itself is banana bat crap crazy.
Good way to describe it.
It is. It really is. And so I, for one, could not get into the story because of the artwork. That was really kind of a lot. And after reading this book, it's not just the artwork. The story's kind of bananas too. Because the whole thing is like the Speed Force itself as a living entity is being tortured or torn apart, and it's causing the speedsters to rip and tear reality when they run because they're powered by the Speed Force. And so Wally is trapped in this other world while everyone is trying to figure out what's going on and where Wally is.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. And then Amanda Waller, because she's everywhere, she is DC's Wolverine. Okay. She's everywhere. And so she has, decided martial law, of course, because speedsters are destroying the reality. They're tearing it apart. And so they have to stop, messing with them. And so she's like, we got to stop the speedsters. So I'm assuming it's going to have a couple more issues. But what really annoyed me was the fact that in order to finish this story or to continue the story, which I think is the ending, you have to get the Flash annual.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing that Coog and I would love to do a retailer show, because when they push their stories to end in an annual, Marvel does this too, to be fair, just put it in the next issue. Annuals used to be something special, and you and I could sit and talk for a whole half hour on what has happened to annuals over the last couple of decades.
Yep.
You should not have to order, and for a retailer, they're different, completely different codes. Some people don't want annuals because they have nothing to do with anything. But in this case, if you didn't order that annual, you will not get the rest of the story.
Nope.
I hate when they do that. So I just want to say one thing about this was you're not reading Titans, are you?
I am not.
Okay. So in Titans, Amanda Waller is very big in it. And in Green Arrow is now working for Amanda Waller. So Amanda Waller is, like you said, their version of Wolverine. She's everywhere. She is everywhere. And I read Wonder Woman, which was amazing, and Titans. And both are about the government and superpowered people, because the government has Diana. And then in the Titans, Waller is trying to work to take the Titans down because of what happened in the Beast World.
Beast World arc.
Yeah. So now seeing this, and now she's in the Flash trying to discredit the speedsters. I have to say, I actually liked what did she call the Lois Lane? She called this woman low rent. I can't remember. She called her something about Lois Lane. And then on the air over, it is about Waller again not trusting heroes. Yeah. And they call her out for not trusting heroes. So I remember Miss Amanda Waller from the early days of Suicide Squad when she herself took on Batman.
Yep.
She was so badass back in the day. And I feel like now they're taking and they're also not saying why she doesn't trust the heroes. Something to do with her family, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So making her the giant bad in this new event DC's coming up with, which on Free Comic Book Day, which is in 2 weeks, you'll get the first little story chapter of whatever this absolute power. I forget what they call it. It's something.
Absolute DC.
No, that's different. Nope. Absolute DC is the new line they're doing, which is basically the Ultimate line.
Oh, yeah, because Barlord was saying, I'm really hoping Absolute DC does a take on the Flash.
I do too.
Because I honestly thought they were connected, but
nope. Okay. So I'm really hoping, and we only have a couple more minutes before the next break. I am really hoping that this Ultimate DC gives me something to read, because right now DC's making it very hard for me as a DC fan to read something. This Flash was not anything that I want to read in the Flash.
Yeah.
And I dislike, the Bat family started it away with all the Bat people. And now I just feel like every hero property, Superman has a Superman family. There's like 50 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Flash, there's like 50 of them. Bat family, 50 of them. Wonder Woman, even she has like 9 Wonder Girls, including her new daughter, who calls herself Wonder Girl. DC needs to stop. I love legacy characters, but this is getting ridiculous. So I'm really hoping that this new Absolute DC, and yes, Scott Snyder is going to be the one in charge. I'm really hoping this gives me back something to read from DC, because a lot of their books are, in my opinion, garbage. That's
so Lyle Hobson says, looks like a large letter N, maybe Negative Flash. See, I really hope that it is something like Negative Flash is the one that's messing it all up in the series, because I think that kind of would lead to something. But because right now, a lot of the super science talking about it, a lot of the mumbo jumbo is just not hitting it for me. But
yes.
But having said that, we're going to take our next commercial break, and we will be back to talk about some Marvel books. Stay tuned.
X-Books.
Yay.
In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
That'd be really great. Thanks.
Something is speaking to you.
Buy more comics.
Just at the edge of your perception.
Buy more comics.
Your senses fill with visions of vortices.
360 comics.
slowly drawing you to one thundering epiphany.
360 Comics!
360 Comics!
The universe is telling you to shop with 360 Comics. Joe's got amazing stock from high dollar to $5 books from Silver Age to modern, CGC, variant covers, and more. 360 Comics every Wednesday at 9 Eastern, part of The Experience. Ask your local comic shop to add Battle Quest comics to your pull list today.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are watching the Geek Chat on The Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
So, I just want to say that the Thursday lineup, there's one more show that follows us. It is on at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. It's Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Tonight's guest is Stephen Yu and Philip Jin. It's a really cool show where they have artists drawing live while they sit and talk about stuff. It's a great show. And Thursday lineup is always amazing. It starts at 8 a.m. Eastern with Jam Comics. Then the Dan Wickline show, What's in the Box with Miss Jen. She had some Marvel stuff today. It was amazing. And then us. And then we follow the night with Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. So be sure to head to Comic Shopping Experience so you can see what's on every day of the week.
Oh, wow. So they're not guest hosts because Mog and Mel are off at C2E2. That's cool. Congratulations on them.
Make two. Thanks for joining us if you're still in.
Yeah. So Make Two. Yeah, thanks so much. See you later, my friend. Okay.
One more time with the giveaway.
One more time with the giveaway, because at the end of the show, we're going to be giving away a 1 in 25 variant cover from Rise of the Powers of X #4 by Chad Hardin. Again, how you enter in is you write in experience or hashtag EXP. There you go. TCG variant enter to win. Please know that you can only enter on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and the winner will be announced at the end of the show. Note that you can only win once per month, but because this is the last show in April, it restarts next week, so you might be able to win twice. So please try.
So I want to say two things. One, the DC, it's called Absolute Power. It's going to be kicking off in July. It's a limited series, and it's basically Amanda Waller versus all the heroes. And then the other thing I want to say is I did not know Peter Steele died in 2010. Mm-hmm. April 14th, 2010. I was unaware of his death. So RIP to him as well. Thank you for letting me know, Jabroni Chief. I had to look it up. I was like, oh man, I always liked them. Okay, on to our X portion of our show.
Don't sound so happy.
I cannot wait. So I can't wait to be able to do the third part of our show and actually be excited to talk about my favorite books in all of comicdom.
Your favorite characters. They're not your books now. They're your favorite characters.
Yeah, they're not my favorite books right now.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. Welcome in.
Yes. Welcome, Mike.
All right. So first up is the crossover between the Avengers and the fall of the House of X that will never stop falling, in your words. So, Avengers number 13. It started in 12. We didn't review it because. So this is Hit Back Part 2. Writer is Jed McKay. Artist is Francesco Mortarino. The color artist was Federico Blee. The letter was VC's Corey Pettit. And the cover was by Joshua Cassara and Marte Gracia. And there was a ton of variants. Why, I don't know, but ton of variants. Yes. So we all have been, well, if you've been watching us, you know that we've been reading Iron Man because he's married to Emma Frost and he has been doing his own thing against whatever the guy's name is, already forgettable, his villain that bought all his stuff.
Fang Yu.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So Iron Man has kept the Avengers on the back burner while everything has been put into place. And this is the two-part issues we get and how the Avengers are helping the X-Men.
And this is specifically to fight off Orcus and the villains from Orcus that are more aligned with the Avengers. So we're talking about AIM and MODOK. Yeah. So
And
they are dismantling the rest of Orcus and the Sentinel City, I guess.
And 3D Man.
And 3D Man, who we find out was hypnotized sleeper agent who basically did for lack of a better term, did a Firestar that literally was a Firestar thing in which T'Challa super hypnotized him and made him a villain, and made him basically turn against his friends and help Orcus try to defeat the Avengers.
By having them believe that he was mad at the Avengers for not picking him.
Yes.
So
that's what it comes down to. And then it's them literally fighting the adaptable Sentinels, who were trying to stop the Avengers from destroying Sentinel City and stopping Orcus. So this is the books that you would need to read to see how the major Orcus story was dealt with through Iron Man and all that.
And all they really did was free some mutant prisoners. Like that's the crux of the story is they've released prisoners. Okay, so this is the major team for Marvel. This is supposed to be, back in the day, you would read the Avengers and it was a flagship title, much like Uncanny X-Men was a flagship title, and the Avengers were always, the best of the best.
Yeah.
And now we're given this team, which I don't feel is the best of the best, but is what Marvel is pushing as the Avengers now. And you've got Scarlet Witch and Vision, okay. Black Panther, and he's no longer the Black Panther, I guess, because he's in this weird costume.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff going on in his own book in which he was dethroned or something. So, yeah.
You've got Captain America Falcon,
Falcon American, whatever we can call him, and Thor. Oh, and Captain Marvel. She's so forgettable, but because she has the weird thing with the negabands now, so she can't really be Captain Marvel for a long time because she has that thing going now.
Yeah. A lot of action, a lot of stuff happens in this. The art was serviceable.
I thought the art was great. Actually, I thought that was the best thing about the story was the art.
It was okay, but all the women's faces look exactly alike with just different, like brown hair, red hair, a wimple. I just felt like kind of the figures all looked the same. Like
I don't know.
the men's faces are all squatty.
I thought it was okay though. Like I thought it was um a very classic um style
Right.
that you would see in an Avengers title.
It reminded me of the 90s when you would get every issue would have a different artist, and some of them were fill-ins that were better, and some were
Mhm.
not so better. This was just a better fill-in. Do we know? I haven't been reading Avengers. Is this the full-time artist? Do you know?
I don't
Have
know.
you been? Oh, you haven't been reading Avengers either?
No, and because and I pop back in every now and again, but the stories that they've been telling have sort of been hit or miss for me. And I, because this was Fall of the X, I wanted to take a look at it to see if this was like a good place for me to kind of like at least see what these folks are doing in relation to the X-Men. And it just kind of was like it just didn't hit it for me. And it just really felt like these two issues this issue in particular was really just the stopover gap for Blood Hunt, because Blood Hunt starts in the next month.
Right.
So it just seems like the Avengers now, instead of being their own book and going on their own adventures, they are part of these other wide line events instead of what's going on in their own stories and making their own kind of continuity. And I think that's kind of sad right now. And I think that started right after Jason Aaron started doing all his craziness with him, and then just kind of, I don't know, it seems like they don't really know what to do with the Avengers at this point, and I'm kind of sad by that.
Well, so Carol Danvers, when she was still Ms. Marvel, her run, I want to say Brian Reed, I can't remember the actual writer. It was marred by every event that was going on in Marvel. It got wrapped up in, and it really brought the whole book down because it would go a couple issues and it'd be Carol stories, and then it would go through maybe a couple months of crossovers, and then it was the whole Civil War thing. It just
because it puts it on hold.
It does, and it doesn't allow the title to breathe.
Nope.
So we're getting this. This was also Tom Brevoort's last book on the Avengers before he takes over editoring. I guess that's the word.
Main editor, line
editor for the X-Men starting. Yeah. So I just got to say, we'll be reviewing the whole Blood Hunt stuff. That is going to be all Marvel will be for the next probably 4 months. And so Des and I actually read every single Gang War. I've already put my foot down and said I will not be reading every Blood Hunt title.
There's too many of them.
It's way too many
of them. I want to read the main story and then go from there.
Yeah, I agree. So okay,
I'm scared. So Rise of Powers of X number 4, my friend. Oh, you're killing me.
Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Kieran Gillen, writer. R.B. Silva, hey, at least the book was gorgeous. I will say that. David Curiel did the color artist. VC's Clayton Cowles did the lettering. And then again, a whole bunch of variants.
Yeah.
But
so Warlord says, I'm only doing the main book. That many tie-ins gives me red flags. Yes, 100% agree.
Yes, especially when Dagger is in 2 of the spin-offs with 2 different teams. That's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because we know Cloak gets wrapped up because it's all the Dark Force people that access the Dark Force that are the doorways for
the conduits
for the vampires. So, but you have some thoughts on this. Come on, just be honest. Let them have it.
We get the full heel turn of Professor X in this book. This is the full heel turn. And the whole way that he does, the reason why he does it is to save his children, his beloved children of the X. And what he does in this book, I was just like, wow. He turns himself into the Sentinels, to the AI Sentinels, because this whole thing from the ending, from the beginning, was about AI versus humanity, whether it be regular humans or mutants. AI wanted to win. And so Professor X says, I want to be a part of the winning side. I want something for my children. And in doing so, he basically brokered a deal saying with Omega Sentinel and saying, hey, I will give you my vast mental capabilities and manipulate humans to do whatever you want, as long as you allow the mutants a place to live, basically a gilded cage. And they said, okay. And so the Omega Sentinel tells Charles Xavier to get nuclear codes, kill humans, do all this stuff, and it's just, I'm like, wow. And this is all happening on on the planet, and everyone else who is stuck in the white hot room is trying to, again, more crazy super science. I guess what happened is there is a seed of Krakoa in the white hot room, and that seed of Krakoa is connected to all the various different Krakoas in reality, because there's only one Krakoa. Okay, you with me? And so Prodigy, so they're able to basically use the plants to be reborn in on the 616 reality, and they basically have a chamber to bring back dead mutants. So they basically brought all of the mutants back that were killed in the white hot room,
including Forget-Me-Not,
who they shouldn't have remembered, number one.
right?
And they were put in these pods and then put into Krakoa, and then were sprouted onto the 616.
So let's just do this. JD, can you put up X-Men Forever, because both of these books happen at the same time?
Yes.
But you're supposed to read Rise of first, and then
yes.
you read X-Men Forever, and they actually tell you this, and I love that they tell you this. So for this book, X-Men Forever, it's Kieran Gillen, same writer.
Mm-hmm.
Luca Maresca was the artist. Federico Blee was the color artist, and VC's Clayton Cowles did the lettering. So the part where he's talking about them being reborn is actually happening in this book.
Yes.
So go back a minute. Yes, Barlord, he sold out. So he killed his children in the last couple issues, knowing that they will be reborn in the white hot room to continue. Because at the end of Rise number 3,
he kills Rachel.
He kills Rachel, but that was his plan.
Yeah.
As you learn in X-Men Forever number 2.
Yeah.
This is
and
getting
Rasputin
as well. This is getting, and Sinister. This is all getting a lot convoluted.
Yes.
In 2 books, they gave you, in the Rise, they gave you the actions, and in Forever, they give you the reasoning. And it was something.
Yeah.
And now,
then in Forever, the whole thing about it now is because, and so the Enigma Force is scared of the Phoenix. And so he tried to wipe out Jean Grey because the Phoenix would be reborn through Jean. And so now since Jean is in the white hot room, Rachel, the Ashanti, she so
Madonna.
Rachel uses Prodigy, because remember, Prodigy went through all different of Moria's lives, and then
with the Mcron crystal shoved in his chest.
Yeah, which he doesn't have anymore, by the way. He lost it.
Orbis got it.
Yeah, but he died, so that doesn't matter. So they basically, Rachel put all of his past lives, Moria's past lives, into Krakoa in the white hot room, and then funneled all of that into Jean Grey. And Jean Grey is the catalyst in which to rebirth the Phoenix, which happens at the end of issue 2 of Forever X-Men. However, she is incomplete. Hope Summers sends everyone back to the 616 and stays with Jean in order to fix the Phoenix,
Well,
purify the Phoenix.
He pulls the gun out at the end.
What? And I'm like, what are you gonna do with the gun?
Right?
Like, what are you gonna do with the gun? I was so annoyed by that. She cocks a gun and is like, I'm gonna help you, Jean. And I'm like, whatever.
Right. And I thought it was really interesting that the not pretty and the not powerful mutants
We're left behind.
are left in the White Hot Room that will be destroyed.
That
so you're
They sacrifice all of them.
sacrificing. Yeah, you're sacrificing. And Exodus is like, oh no, you will always live inside of me. I will remember you. What?
I don't think they're going to die, though. I think the Phoenix is going to happen. I do think,
Well,
yes, our Lord. I don't know how we're keeping track of all this. You know what it is? Because we do this because we do the show, you know, and regardless of what we're saying right now, we really do care about the X-Men. We want them to be better. But how this story is playing out is so much more convoluted than I believe what Hickman wanted. I do believe this is a prime example of too many cooks. Get that stuck in your head.
I think that they did not need any of the domination. What are they called? The Dominion.
Dominion.
They didn't need any of. We did not need any of that.
Nope.
Being folded in.
Yeah, and then and what's really weird is the Dominion came in like the third or fourth year of this new X-Men line, and that's what makes me believe that it was never meant. The Dominion and this whole arc was never meant to happen, in my opinion, because at the end, the only thing that Hickman set up was that the X-Men lose and the AI win. It becomes, the whole world becomes AI dominated, and so that was the seed that planted all of this extra stuff, and they decided, hey, we're just gonna tell the story, and that's how it is.
Right. I just want to say, Barlord, we try to review number ones, but I really got to be honest. The latest issue of Ultimate Spider-Man, are you caught up on it, Des? Oh, I can't hear you at all. So the Ultimate Spider-Man, the last issue, was basically just...
I don't know how I got muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fading in and out. So the last issue had zero action. It was all date night between Harry Osborn and Peter and their was a spoiler. It's Gwen Stacy. I love it. For an issue that had no action, it sure did do a lot, bringing the story to the larger picture. And Hickman is writing a very well-told Spider-Man story that isn't all bombastic with villains and crashing, and it's just a nice straight origin story that he's telling. And I really wish when the X-Men all come back in July that we are given stories that stay within certain parameters. Do you know what I mean?
No, they don't have to be so grandiose like they have been before. It's kind of crazy. So,
all right. So, I'm gonna say, if you want to pick up an X-Men book, wait till July. Like, really, don't jump in right now. It's too much for you. Yeah. So I don't know either. I just can't wait. I want to read Gail Simone's X-Men. I kind of just want May and June to skip the X books. Just end it. Just end it.
No, I want to see. I want to see if I'm right. I want to see if I'm right. If that they trap the Enigma in the White Hot Room, and Phoenix is free as it gets reborn in Jean, and then it goes out and explores the world. Like,
yeah, we already know that she's getting the Phoenix Force.
Oh yeah. So I honestly want to know how this ends. You know, I'm vested in that much to see what this convoluted train wreck, you know, is at the end. Seriously, it's like a train wreck. Like you're watching. See, you know what it is? It's like you're watching a train headed for a cliff, and you cannot stop watching the train because you want to see, you know, will it right itself? Will it go to a different track, or will it just go off the rails? You know, and I just want to see, like, if they can stick the landing of this or not. I don't think they will, but I want to see how it happens now.
And now I really believe that Charles is Prisoner X.
Oh yeah,
because he is basically betraying the humans.
He killed he killed tons of people. I'm like,
Right.
what? Yeah,
Right.
his I want to know his reasoning, because of course they're going to do something, and they're going to have like a trial or something, and they're going to have to turn on him. But I just want to see, him crying, talking about, I did this for you, my children.
Huh. All right, let's get to that giveaway.
All right, everybody.
Last chance.
All righty, everybody. So we're going to be giving away a 1 in 25 variant cover from Chad Hardin. It's Rise of the Powers of the X, number 4, the comic we just talked about. If you haven't already, please post hashtag EXPTCG variant to enter the giveaway. And note, you can only do this if you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Give you a couple minutes before we spin the dive. If anyone has, or we spin the thingy-mabobber that Jade is going to put on.
The thingy-mabobber. That is the official name of it.
Yes, we're calling it the thingy-mabobber. That is what we use.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Enjoy the beautiful cover with Rasputin on it.
But don't read it, apparently. I mean,
though this one was the one you kind of want to read, because it was basically Charles being like,
killing
screw
folks.
Humanity.
And the way he did it, like he was like, you want me to kill him? Alrighty, I got the codes. It's like, what do you want me to do? I'm just like, you were a willing participant in the death of millions of people, Charles.
Right.
No, like, I don't know what's going to happen. So, wow.
All right.
Alrighty.
If
we are ready, JD, please, will you, my friend, put up the thingamabobber and let's get it. All right, everybody. Up. Rich, is your name in there? Rich. Oh, Kenneth Bird won.
Congratulations, Kenneth.
All right, Kenneth. So, I know you have to fill out something. JD knows what's going on.
It's right up on the screen now.
So
right
there you go. Please read it. Kenneth, please register your shipping information here within 72 hours. We will send it all out to you. Congratulations. Please note that because we did this at the end of April, next episode will be a clean slate and anyone can win again. So Kenneth, if you're lucky, you could win again. And if you do win again, I'd buy a lottery ticket, my friend. So,
I want to say thank you all for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes.
We love doing this. Even it was funny. I was telling Coog, I'm like, even the second or the third segment being books that we might not enjoy, we still love talking about them.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
And we enjoy having you all here talking with us and sharing how you feel about the comics, because again, I know that reading comics, is a solitary thing. You sit there and read stuff, but talking about it is such a communal thing, and we love doing that. So, Experience says, I tend to enjoy a train wreck of a story more than a good one. Sometimes that does work. Sometimes it does work. So if you're loving our train wreck, please tell people about it. Bring your friends, bring your parents, your children, your uncles, your aunts, your exes, your currents. Bring them all in, like, share, and subscribe, and know that we will be giving away another variant next week. Hopefully it's from a book that we actually do enjoy. And yes, hide your kids, hide your wife, bring everyone else. Experience, we love. Dotson. Anyway,
what about side pieces? Are they allowed?
Side pieces are allowed too.
Okay, good.
But just side pieces and like regular pieces, if they're in the same room together, no fighting in the room, please.
Yeah. Keep
it civil. So, and on that note, that's the end of our show. I'm Des.
And I'm Rich.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
We know you probably get a lot of emails, but could you please make sure to sign up for our mailing list? We don't send a lot of emails, and we try not to bother you. We just want to give you the best information about all the cool stuff that's going on around here. Sign up on our website, theexplive.com.